Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. We've done a lot of videos lately showing you how to do general maintenance work on your classic Mustang. One area that can require maintenance is going to be your headers. Because of the wide range of temperatures that the headers see, the bolts tend to contract and expand, and that can cause the bolts to back out and damage the gaskets, which is what happened to our 1967 Mustang convertible. So today we're going to show you how to install a new set of header gaskets, and while we're there, we're going to install a set of locking header bolts from Ford Racing. For this installation, we're using a set of original style gaskets that'll work with the cylinder heads and the headers on our car. The bolts from Ford Racing are stage 8 locking bolts, so they shouldn't back out like the original ones did. I'll give you a quick rundown on how these work before we install them. Once you have the bolt tightened down, you're going to put this lock washer on top here. This curve here is going to go towards the tube itself. Once you do that, simply grab the clip and you'll click that into place, and that'll lock it on so it doesn't back out. For this installation, they need a 1/4 inch ratchet, 7/16 socket, 9/16 socket, short extension, 7/16 wrench, 9/16 wrench, needle nose pliers, and a scraper. There really aren't any crazy or fancy tricks to doing a header gasket. It's not a difficult installation, it's just a very tedious installation. If you want to, you can remove the Monte Carlo bar export brace. You can get things out of the way if it makes your life easier, but you can work around them. What you want to do is pretty much grab every 7/16 tool you have, any variant of a wrench, socket, everything like that, because you'll probably need them at some point. Make sure the engine is nice and cool, and start by removing the spark plug wires to give yourself more room. The ones on the front of the tubes here be the easiest ones to get to. What I usually do is leave that one and the back one for last. I'll hold everything in place. We'll start with getting all the harder ones off first. You might find some of these that are on the tubes are going to thread out, and it might get to the point where they hit the header and won't go any further. If that's the case, just get them out as far as you can cleanly. You don't want to try to push them too much because you can damage the actual head itself. When we take off the other ones, then the header can pull further out, and those at that point will be hand tight and should come out pretty easily. Now we're going to carefully remove the gasket. If the gasket comes off clean and you get lucky, you can simply swap it off. Unfortunately, more times than not, if the gasket's damaged, it's not going to come off cleanly. We'll have to pop the header off so we can clean the surface. We probably don't take the entire header off the car, which is good, but separating it from the X-pipe, that should give us enough room to get in there and clean everything up. Move it down and give us plenty of room to clean everything up. Now we'll start the installation by bringing the header back up into place. Just a dab of anti-seize on the new bolts. I'm going to thread them in. You're going to start with the two ends, and then we'll put the gasket on. Slide it on, the two hooks are facing down, so we'll go over the two bolts. And we can start putting the rest of the bolts in. Now that we have all the bolts tight, we can install the locks themselves. This edge here is going to go towards the tube. What we'll do is line it up on here and see if you get that edge on. In our case, we can see we're off a little bit. We have to adjust the bolt just slightly so it clears properly. And to get the lock lined up, you want to make sure you always go tighter. You don't want to go looser. There we go. Now you can see it lines up well. And we can install the C-clip. Now you want to repeat the process for the rest of the bolts. There may be some where you simply can't get the lock on. Sometimes you do have to grind a little material off the lock to get proper clearance. It's going to depend on the headers that you're using. Once the clips are on, repeat the process on the other side. We're going to reconnect our headers to the X-pipe, and your installation is finished. The Ford Racing locking header bolts are just what we need to keep our headers in place and not cause leaking gaskets in the future. Installation is tedious. Figure about 3 to 4 hours total. We'll be back on the road in no time.